The United States government has just made a major move that is already making headlines around the world. They have announced a visa restriction policy targeting people accused of persecuting Christians and those violating religious freedom in Nigeria. This action, according to the US, is part of their global effort to protect freedom of religion and human rights. Now, this decision did not come suddenly. Reports say the US government has been watching rising violence in some parts of Nigeria, especially where attacks against churches and Christian communities have been recorded. They believe some individuals and groups are behind it, and they want to send a clear message that such acts will not go unpunished. Remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you want to keep getting verified breaking news updates like this. According to the official statement, those affected by this visa restriction include individuals who have either ordered, supported, funded, or participated in attacks or discrimination against Christians and other religious groups. It also affects, in some cases, their immediate family members. This means if someone is found guilty of serious human rights violations, even their relatives might not be allowed to travel to the US. The US said the purpose of this move is to promote accountability. They want governments around the world, including Nigeria, to take religious freedom seriously. They believe that no one should be attacked, discriminated against, or killed because of their faith. Now, let's be clear, this is not just about Nigeria alone. The same policy applies to any country where such violations happen. But Nigeria is mentioned specifically because of the rising number of reported cases, and that's why it's getting so much attention. If you're watching now, please take a second to like this video and subscribe. It helps this channel grow and helps more people see what's really happening. Now, people are already reacting to this decision. Some human rights activists say it's a good move, that it will make people in power, and even local groups, think twice before supporting violence against others because of religion. They say this could bring hope to victims who have not seen justice for years. But others are more cautious. Some believe the decision might create tension, especially if people think the US is targeting one side or one religion. They say peace in Nigeria is very delicate, and this kind of international action must be handled with care so it doesn't lead to misunderstanding or division. Still, one thing is clear, this visa restriction shows that the world is paying attention. It's not business as usual anymore. If you're involved in violence, if you fund it, or if you look away while it happens, there may be consequences beyond Nigeria. Please, before we continue, don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button right now so you don't miss updates on this story and others that affect our country. Now, let's talk about what this could mean in real life. For the people directly affected, they may no longer be able to travel to the United States. That includes education, business trips, or vacations. Their bank activities could also be monitored internationally, especially if they are linked to human rights violations. For the Nigerian government, this might be a signal that they need to act faster. The US and other countries have been calling for stronger protection of citizens, especially in rural communities that face attacks. Some people believe that if the Nigerian authorities handle these cases more seriously, foreign governments may not need to step in this way. Now, beyond politics, think about the victims, people who lost loved ones in these attacks, people who were displaced from their homes, or those who have been living in fear for years. For them, this new action may feel like a small step toward justice. It's like someone powerful is finally saying, "We see you, and we care." Please like this video right now if you believe justice and peace should be for everyone. There's also the question of how this will affect Nigeria's image globally. Being mentioned in this kind of policy can hurt a country's reputation, especially for investors and international partners. When the US issues visa bans, it sends a signal that there's a serious problem that needs attention. But it also puts pressure on the country's leaders to act fast. Some analysts think this could encourage better cooperation between Nigeria and the US in fighting extremism and promoting peace. They believe both countries have the same goal: safety, stability, and fairness for all people, no matter their religion. But some others worry it could also bring diplomatic tension if Nigerian officials see it as interference. However, the US says this is not about politics, it's about protecting fundamental human rights and stopping violence before it spreads further. Now, let's look at it from another angle. Religious freedom is one of the most basic human rights. When people can't worship freely or live in peace because of their faith, it threatens the unity of any nation. Nigeria is a country with many religions, cultures, and traditions, and that diversity should be our strength, not our weakness. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update we drop. If you think deeply, you realize this action by the US could also serve as a warning to others. Not just in Nigeria but across Africa and the world. It shows that what you do locally can now have global consequences. The world is connected, and actions that violate basic rights can no longer stay hidden. Some Nigerians online are already debating this. Many people are saying it's a wake-up call, while others say the focus should be on fixing our own justice system so we don't rely on foreign actions to solve local problems. And honestly, that's true. Because lasting peace and justice will not come from outside pressure alone, it has to start from within. Communities, religious leaders, and the government all have a role to play in ending violence and discrimination. Now, as we follow this story, we should also watch for a few key things in the coming weeks. Will the US release the names of those affected? Will Nigeria respond officially or launch its own investigations? And how will this impact international relations between both countries? These are questions that will shape how this story develops. And as more updates come in, we'll break it down here in simple, clear language, so you always know what's going on. Please take a second, like this video right now, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe if you haven't. It means a lot, and it helps us bring you accurate, balanced news without bias or drama. To wrap up this report, the message is clear: the United States has drawn a line. They are saying no more tolerance for those who promote or support violence in the name of religion. It's a strong stand, one that could influence how other countries handle similar cases in the future. For Nigeria, it's time to reflect and take action. Protecting religious freedom is not just about faith, it's about peace, justice, and respect for human life. Everyone deserves to live without fear because of what they believe. If you support that message, give this video a like right now and hit the subscribe button. Stay connected, because we'll keep updating you as new information comes in. Now, let's go deeper into the reaction this decision has sparked, both in Nigeria and around the world. Since the US government announced the visa restriction, conversations have exploded online. Many Nigerians, especially human rights supporters and religious organizations, are calling it a bold move. They believe it's a signal that the international community is no longer ignoring what's been happening in some regions: the killings, the fear, the lack of justice. Remember, if you're watching this right now, please hit the like button and subscribe to stay updated as we continue to track this story and many others that matter to you. So, here's what's happening. Some Christian groups have publicly thanked the US for taking this step, saying it's long overdue. They argue that for too long, communities have been attacked, churches destroyed, and people forced to flee without any serious punishment for the attackers. They see this visa restriction as a form of justice, even if it's symbolic. It shows that the world is watching. But on the other side, some government officials and analysts are being more cautious. They say the US must be careful not to generalize or target innocent people. They warn that decisions like this must be backed by strong evidence to avoid political tension. And that's an important point, because Nigeria is a very diverse country. What happens in one region doesn't always represent the entire nation. The fear is that if people misunderstand the purpose of this policy, it could cause unnecessary blame or divide communities even more. Please like this video and subscribe right now if you believe unity and peace should always come first, no matter the issue. Now, international experts are also weighing in. Some say this is part of a global pattern. The US and other Western countries have started using visa bans and sanctions as tools to pressure governments or individuals to act more responsibly. It's cheaper and faster than military intervention, and it sends a strong message without direct conflict. But this also means people who once thought their actions would stay hidden might now face global consequences. The world has changed. With technology, investigations, and human rights reports, evidence travels fast. If someone's name appears in a report linked to violence or persecution, it can now lead to serious restrictions, even from thousands of miles away. And that's why this news is so important, not just politically, but morally. It raises questions we all need to think about. How do we treat each other? How do we protect our neighbors who believe differently? How can government and community leaders prevent hate before it grows into violence? If you're still watching, please like this video and subscribe right now. That's how you show support for truth, peace, and unity. Now let's talk about what could happen next. Some reports say that the US might not release the full list of names immediately. These kinds of visa bans are often done quietly to avoid diplomatic tension. So, don't be surprised if we never see a public list. But the effects are real. People will begin to notice when their visas are denied or travel requests are rejected. We might also see diplomatic discussions behind closed doors. The Nigerian government could reach out to the US to ask for clarification, or to assure them that they are working on improving religious tolerance at home. There might even be new local policies introduced in response, things like more protection for vulnerable communities, interfaith dialogue programs, or stricter monitoring of hate speech. And that's a good thing, because beyond politics, this is really about people. Families who just want peace. Children who want to go to school without fear. Communities who want to worship freely without being attacked. Please don't forget, like this video, share it, and subscribe right now. You'll be helping more people understand what's really going on without the noise or bias. Now, let's touch on another angle, how this might affect Nigerians living abroad. Some Nigerians in the US and Europe are already reacting emotionally to this news. Many of them have family back home, and they say this is a wake-up call for everyone to speak up against violence, not just when it happens to their own group, but anytime it happens to anyone. Some even suggest that this kind of international attention could help create more awareness among youth. They believe young people, who make up most of the population, can play a big role in ending hate by promoting unity on social media, in schools, and in their communities. That's why information like this matters. It's not just about politics, it's about shaping the mindset of the next generation. When people see that actions have global consequences, it helps them think differently. Please, before we go further, hit the like button right now, and subscribe so you don't miss the next update. Now, one key question everyone is asking is, will this policy really make any difference? Will it stop violence or just create headlines? The truth is, it's too early to tell. The visa ban alone won't solve all the problems. But it adds pressure. It draws attention. It tells the world that Nigeria's situation is serious, and that's the first step toward change. Change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, effort, and unity. But every action, no matter how small, moves us closer to peace. As we continue to follow this story, we'll be keeping an eye on how Nigerian leaders respond, what the next steps from the US will be, and how citizens react locally. Because at the end of the day, peace and justice start with accountability. If you're watching right now, please pause for just 1 second, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It's free, and it helps keep you informed every time we drop a new update like this. And now, let's close this gist on a powerful note. The US visa restriction is more than just a policy. It's a message. A message that the world is watching, that human rights matter, that freedom of worship must be respected, and that no one, no matter how powerful, should feel untouchable when innocent lives are at risk. For Nigeria, this is a turning point, a reminder to protect its people, defend its unity, and prove to the world that peace is possible. Because no country can truly move forward when its citizens live in fear or division. If you believe in that message, like this video right now, drop your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's continue. So, what happens next after this US visa restriction? What should Nigerians and the international community expect in the coming weeks? According to reports from analysts and observers, this policy is just the beginning. The US may extend the same kind of visa restrictions to more countries where religious violence continues unchecked. That means Nigeria's case could serve as a model for how the US handles future violations globally. This also means investigations may continue quietly. US agencies often collect intelligence through diplomatic channels, reports from human rights organizations, and international watchdogs. They might not publish names, but people connected to violence or hate speech could suddenly find that their travel applications are denied or delayed. And that's how these restrictions start to work behind the scenes. If you're watching now, please take 2 seconds, like this video and subscribe to stay informed as we track these developments carefully and bring you verified updates. Now, let's look at the bigger picture. This action could also impact international relations between Nigeria and the United States. Usually, when such restrictions are announced, countries open diplomatic discussions to manage the fallout. Nigeria might request clarification, while the US may share some evidence or encourage more domestic action against religious violence. If these talks go smoothly, it could even lead to stronger cooperation between both nations in fighting terrorism, hate crimes, and human rights abuses. But if not managed well, it could cause temporary tension, especially if officials feel the US is interfering in local issues. Either way, what's important now is how Nigeria responds. If the government takes this as an opportunity to strengthen peace and protect all citizens, it could actually boost the country's image globally. Showing that Nigeria can handle its own problems with fairness and justice might even restore international confidence. So yes, this story is not just about a visa ban, it's about accountability, image, and leadership. If you believe that Nigeria should rise above division and promote peace, please like this video and subscribe now. It helps push this message to more people who need to hear it. Now, let's talk about the business and travel side. For ordinary Nigerians who travel often, this visa restriction won't affect everyone, it only targets specific individuals connected to religious persecution. But over time, stricter background checks might be introduced. US embassies could start paying more attention to the purpose of travel, affiliations, and history of applicants. For students, tourists, and business travelers, it's a reminder to always ensure your documents are clean and your activities are genuine. The US still values its relationship with Nigeria, and thousands of Nigerians study, work, and visit there every year. This policy doesn't stop that, it only sends a warning to those crossing moral and legal lines. And that's a key point to remember, it's not against Nigeria, it's against acts of hate and discrimination. If you're watching and you agree that peace should always come before politics, please hit that like button right now and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Now let's touch on one last, very important part, what this all means for the future. When a powerful country like the United States makes a move like this, other nations usually pay attention. We may soon see more European countries or international organizations take similar steps. This could build a global network of accountability for people involved in human rights violations anywhere in the world. In a way, this is the beginning of something bigger, a system where human rights are taken seriously, not just by local laws but by global powers. And for ordinary people like you and me, it's a reminder that the world is watching, and our voices matter. When people speak up, when they demand fairness, when they call for peace, change starts to happen, even if it takes time. So, as we close this report, the key message is simple: this visa restriction is not just about politics or travel, it's about sending a message that violence, hate, and persecution have no place in our world today. Nigeria stands at a crossroads, to either ignore this global warning or to use it as motivation to unite, rebuild trust, and protect the freedom and dignity of every citizen, no matter their faith. If you're watching right now, please like this video, share it with someone, and subscribe if you haven't. Every click, every share, every comment helps spread awareness and keeps this kind of important news in front of more people. Because at the end of the day, peace is everybody's responsibility, not just the government, not just international organizations, but every citizen who believes that life and freedom should never depend on religion or background. So let's keep the conversation going. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this US action will push Nigeria toward better unity and justice, or do you see it as foreign interference? We'll be reading your comments and responding to your opinions in our next update. Once again, don't forget to like this video and subscribe right now so you don't miss the next major breaking news as it drops. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay informed, stay peaceful, and stay united.